man. Can't ball in a life, man. Go on with it, go on with it. Do us. So we are coming in with a force. Yeah, blessing the reap and we coursing on.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Shay Renee, and we are back to talk about Love and Marriage DC Season 2, Episode 5, okay? Now, the episode starts off, we're going to do this review just a little bit different this time. I'm actually watching the episode, and I'm going to do my review and talk about it as we are watching the show together, because as y'all can see, sister girl need to catch up, okay? Because I'm a little bit behind, so bear with me. So it starts off where they're at Brittany's house. This is Arena and Jamie's daughter. She kind of had to trick everybody to get everybody over the house so that we can talk about all the issues that the family is having. Little Jamie is there. He hears his mother's voice and he's like, oh, you ain't about to trick me. I know my mama's voice. She got a distinctive laugh. I know that is her, okay? So the family comes in and they're just as shocked as little Jamie to see him there, okay? Because he had been ghosting them for quite some time and not even talking to anybody. So Brittany says, okay, listen, everybody, cat's out the bag. I had to get y'all all here because I'm just really tired of all this stuff that's going on. So they have like a real talk about this whole situation. There's some emotions that come about. The grandmother gets emotional. Big Jamie gets emotional. He's like, listen, we really got to figure this out. You can't keep shutting down all the time. We worry about you. And even Arena was like, yeah, and you send us messages basically, saying things that make us feel like you're going to harm yourself. And we don't want that. We love you. We want to be here for you. And Jamie says, you know what? I want us to go to counseling. Let's go to counseling. Maybe the counselor can help us, and figure this out. And I want you to know that the counseling is not just for you. It's for me too. Because maybe there's something that I'm saying or doing that could be contributing to how you react to different things. And Jamie was reluctant to do it. Little Jamie said, no, he doesn't want to go. He doesn't need to talk to anybody. And then Big Jamie looks at Arena and says, listen, I know you're going to be upset, but if you don't come to this counseling or you don't want to change, you are going to have to get all, like he's basically telling little Jamie, you're going to have to get all your stuff and you're going to have to change your address for show, because I cannot continue to contribute to the foolishness of your life. And so little Jamie is upset. He walks off. He's, his grandmother's crying. Everybody's getting upset, because they just, this family, they really love him and they really want him to progress. So he walks off because he's like, this is a lot to think about. I need a second. Like, this is overwhelming. So he goes to the bottom of the steps. The family comes down. Even Brittany comes down and she gets emotional. She's like, listen, we love you. We want you to, we're here for you. We want you to do better. And, I had a chance to watch the Carlos King interview with little Jamie. And, I think that he's doing a lot better now. I think that there's a lot of accountability that he has been lacking in his life. I think that, Big Jamie has a contribution to this. Actually, him and Arena. Like, I think that there's a bit of enabling that has gone on. But I think that the communication was very lacking in their relationship. I think that Jamie had a I'm your father, do what I say type of mentality. And it was more of like, this is common sense. You're a grown man. You're supposed to be doing this, and this. And why aren't you doing this? And I think that it was missed with little Jamie. They weren't listening to him. He didn't like the way they were talking to him. There's certain things that they say, or mainly Big Jamie, that triggers him. It triggers an emotion out of him. It triggers him to do some of the negative things that he was doing. Not to say that it's okay. And I think that there was a lack of accountability with a lot of the things that he was doing, because instead of him acknowledging that he's creating a lot of the turmoil in his own life due to his reactions to some of the things that his parents or his dad was saying, instead of choosing a more positive path in life to do things for the betterment of himself, he decided to go out and do some of these negative things. Now, Big Jamie may be contributing to some of that stuff with his lack of is improper communication. So anyway, they go throughout the scene, and Big Jamie is pretty much like, listen, I really, really want you to go to this counseling. Like, it's not just about you. It's about us. Like, it's about me. Maybe I'm communicating with you wrong. Maybe there's some, I don't want you to think that this is just all about us going to see what could be wrong with you. It could be me too. I know I got anger issues and whatnot. So, let's do this. Will you do this with me? And little Jamie agrees finally that he is going to actually go to the counseling. So we'll see later on in the episode how the counseling actually goes. All right. So let's keep going. All right, y'all. So the episode continues, and Winter is now at Air DC Lounge. They must love Air, because last year, I don't know if y'all remember, that's where they had Arena and Jamie's anniversary party there. Okay. So now she having her divorce party there, child. Okay, whatever. So, Sherelle comes there, and Winter is saying that she wants her to get all the other girls there. Like, she needs her help to get them there. Outside of trying to film with them, why do you want them there to celebrate this with you? None of y'all like each other. Okay, this is definitely just I want to film thing. Here's my thing with Winter. I like Winter. I do. I think Winter saved the last season. This last season would have been nothing if she didn't have, because it was dry. It was boring. I love Monique and Chris Samuels, but they wanted to try to make this the Cosby Show for marriages. And that is not what reality TV is all about. And if that's what she ever thought it was about, then I'm glad that she decided to bow out gracefully, because this is not for her. Okay? But I'm trying to find Winter's position in all of this season. I'm having trouble placing her amongst the couples, because you were Monique and Chris's friend that she absolutely denied, okay? But I'm trying to place this. I'm trying to place her. And Sherelle also, she says, listen, that's a big job for me to try to be getting them here, child, because y'all don't like each other, but I'm going to see what I can do. But, that Arena, yeah, she like to play both sides, because apparently she has had gotten wind, if you will. Sherelle is talking about the conversation that she had previously with Joy, or is that happening in this episode? I'm not sure. But her and Joy talk about Arena coming back to Joy saying that, Sherelle's husband is shady or whatever. Joy told Arena basically that she don't really fool with Sherelle's husband. So it got back to Sherelle. Sherelle and Joy talk about it, and Sherelle is just not happy with that. She's just like, my husband is not shady. That's a strong word to be talking about my husband, and Arena going back and forth talking about stuff, and I don't like that, okay? She needs to mind her business. That's all. Just mind her business, okay? So, needless to say, she gonna have a little trouble inviting people to the event of it all, because she ain't fooling with Arena right now. She don't know what's the goings on with her. So let's keep going and just see how this continues to roll through. So now in this scene, we have Ashley and Quick talking to their son Antonio. The scene starts off with Quick congratulating Ashley about her book and everything, and how he's really excited for her. Then they're talking about the street that's going to be named after him. It's going to be called Quicksilver Way, the street that he grew up on in Baltimore. And that's a big deal. The mayor decided to name a street after him. I think that's a huge honor and accomplishment. So Quick is like, I'm mad at you because we have this stuff going on with our son Antonio, and usually you tell me everything, and you didn't tell me that. I thought that was a little dramatic. And I think Ashley acknowledges some of the dramatics that Quick does, because you can tell by her speech and the way that she talks to him sometimes. But she was probably like, the juice ain't worth the squeeze for me to dime him out on camera right now, talk about this or whatever. So Antonio comes downstairs, and apparently he got suspended from school for a jacket, if you will. Somebody took his jacket, and I don't know if he was fighting or whatever the case may be. But before he comes down, Quick makes a comment about, I bet you little Jamie, thought it was they thought it was something small at first, and now look at it. Why are you constantly talking about little Jamie? In the interview with Carlos King with little Jamie, he said, you know what? I just really didn't get why Quick constantly was bringing my name up. Like, I could see him saying something about, oh, you know, Antonio is doing this and this is what I did in my life, or giving examples from his own life, comparing things, but not using Lil Jamie as an example to his son for things. Like, you weren't there as Lil Jamie was growing up. So I really don't understand why he continues to bring Little Jamie up in all of his examples when he's talking about his own son. He has enough examples in his own life, from him getting, you know, stabbed, and, you know, all the stuff that he was into with DRUGS and all this stuff when he was young, and getting SHOT'd. I don't know what words they looking for in these videos, child, to clock them out. But, you know, all these things that happened to him in his life, he could use his own examples as to how to keep his son on the straight and narrow. Hell, he could even use his own self as an example with Lil Jamie to keep him going in a positive direction in life. Because he could use the old, been there, done that, all the stuff that you're trying to do. I know, I see you, and I raised you what I did, okay? You think this little stuff that you're doing is something, but I've been there, done that, and already, and could give you the playbook. Like, I don't understand why he's constantly talking about Lil Jamie. I think that Quick needs to find his own story. If your life is so interesting, you got so many things going on, and you and Ashley are the biz naive, stop talking about the tireless kid. Whatever. So this whole sit down with Joy and Sherelle was just a waste of time. Here's the thing. Joy don't like Black. She don't. She has this whole situation. I watched her interview with Carlos King too, where she has an issue with how they went around the world, killed it. She was one of the newer members that she talked about in the episode. She said 2 new members came on. She was one of the newer people that came on. They went around the world and killed it. They were known. Mambo Sauce was known locally. Let's not forget that. They were known locally. However, they went on some global tour, which made them known nationwide. So who's to say that if the old members hadn't have stayed in, that they still wouldn't have killed it wherever they went around the country as well? The reality of this whole situation with Joy is a chronic grudge holder, and she doesn't know how to forgive people and move on. Like, sis, this whole band situation can't have been burning in your spirit this long. You can't let stuff like this sizzle in your spirit this long, okay? And Sherelle, like, coming and talking to her, it's almost like I would have liked for her and Black to be there. Like, I think that there needs to be some sort of sit down with Black and Joy at some point, because while Black may be telling Sherelle what's going on, she wasn't there. She's not the one that was literally in the situation with Mambo Sauce, with Joy, and all this stuff that's going on. And with whatever Arena went back and told Sherelle, like, just because she said that Joy says she was Black was shady, that one word shouldn't have been enough for Sherelle to go back and feel the need to want to rumble in the rumble in the mud, if you will, with Arena. But I mean, listen, that's her husband, and she says she don't play about her husband, as she shouldn't, as I wouldn't. So, you know, of course she's going to have these conversations, because you sitting up here saying you hate him and you know, all of this, that, and the third. Joy, I think you're being a little petty Betty. I think you need to get over it, sis. I think that all of this, these emotions that you're having over this, it's a little stale. Life has gone on. You're living your life. And if you're living your best life, let it go, sis. Let it go. So now we're at the part of the episode where we're sitting with the therapist, with Big Jamie and Little Jamie, okay? This whole scene is very, very powerful to me. First of all, side note, Carlos, why your team keep zooming in on Little Jamie and Big Jamie's nails? Like, what you doing? You trying to say something about the nails? I mean, Big Jamie looked like he had some clear polish on, but you know, a lot of the men that's real clean cut like Big Jamie, you know, because he always well puts together. He likes to coordinate, you know, him and Arena. They like to coordinate, all right? Why you zooming in on their hands and nails and stuff? I thought it was supposed to you trying to see if they nervous or something, but you just keep zooming in on their nails. I don't get it. But I digress. Let's move on. All right. So sorry, y'all. I'm drinking and eating and watching. The therapist was able to pick up really quickly that Big Jamie needs to communicate better with Little Jamie. And we all have seen that throughout all of the episodes, but I can appreciate that Big Jamie is actually opening up and doing the work, like really opening himself up in this session. And I can tell that Jamie really loves his children. And now that he is no longer a detective, I don't know if he really needed to wait until he was no longer in law enforcement to make changes and realize this. But I think his career was an excuse for such a long time as to why he behaved the way that he did. He talked about drinking and that being an excuse for maybe the altercation that they had and how his emotions may have been elevated. And the doctor pointed out rather quickly, no, we're not going to use these things as excuses. You're responsible for how you communicate with people. And he accepted that. But I also think in this session as well, that Little Jamie needs to take responsibility for his lack of. His parents have done, you know, they admitted in the session that they bought that car for him, and they said that they weren't. So they bought him a car. He's constantly complaining about what they're not doing for him, not paying this bill, that bill, and the other bill. And it's like the rebellious behavior that he exhibits all the time is really showing how childish he is. He's not out. It's like you're rebellious, but you're 26. You're not going, and the doctor even slightly pointed out that he needs to accept responsibility for where he is in his life right now. It's not his parents' fault. Because if you want to do better, you have to want to do better. It's not anybody else's responsibility to sit you into the positivity of your life. You have to create positivity for yourself. You have to create that around you. You have to make changes in your daily behaviors if you want to see your life change in a positive manner. Like Little Jamie, you know, his dad is a detective. I'm sure he knows how to help him find jobs, or, you know, there are so-called socialites in the DC area. I'm sure they could find jobs for him in areas of business or things where he doesn't have to, where they don't look at your background, you know, where he can be successful. Little Jamie talked about in his interview with Carlos how it just comes to him naturally for computers. Go and get your certifications for IT. Knowing all of this stuff about yourself and learning these things about you but not acting on it is a problem. And that's pretty much what the therapist pointed out as well. He was like, you can know all of these things about yourself, but you have to act on it. You have to be the captain of your own destiny. You have to be the one that's going to create positivity in your life. You have to be the one that changes the trajectory of your life. You can't keep blaming it on everybody else. You can't hold everybody else responsible for you. And I really hope and pray that he wakes up and realizes that, because this whole woe is me story with your parents and, you know, everybody saying you're a bad kid and that be triggering. While I understand that, I definitely understand trigger words and how they can make you feel. You still have to be the captain of your own destiny. You can't let those things be excuses as to, oh, well, they called me a bad kid, so I'm going to be a bad person. No, if you want to be a good person, you have to control being a good person. Just do it, like Nike. Period. Y'all think that doctor really gave him his phone number? I don't know. So Quick gets honored over in, I think he said East Baltimore. It was even on his birthday. And they named the street that he grew up on Quicksilver Way, okay? And I think that that is such an extremely amazing honor. The mayor does a speech, talks about this accomplishment. Quick gets up there and he gets emotional and he says, you know, he wishes that his parents could have seen this, especially his father. He really wishes his dad could have seen him because he said that his dad never really got to see him be who he is today. His dad never got to experience him being successful. And, it just really it was a powerful moment. He had his family there. He had his sister, I think, was there, his childhood friends. And I think that this is an amazing accomplishment, because knowing this part of Baltimore is an area that is still improving, but still very hardcore. And it really shows those children in that community that through, life's changes, positivity being implemented into your life, taking a different road, you can do better things in your life. You are not a product of a full product of your environment. Okay. You can change the trajectory of your life if that's what you so choose to do. And I love the example that Quick is providing by doing this, because he's showing people, listen, I'm this huge radio host. Like, I am, doing the daggone thing. I'm married. I have my children. Like, I'm a world-renowned DJ. Like, I'm on TV. I got a street named after me, you see. So, and I was doing XYZ growing up, and I was still able to change my life. So I loved everything about this whole scene. Like, I really think that this was something very positive. And as a person, I went to Morgan State University. I've seen some of these rough areas in Baltimore. It ain't nowhere I would want to be raising my children. Okay, I will say that in some areas. But to know that he came out of that and came out on the positive side of those things, I think it's amazing. So after Quick's very emotional speech, we never really see. Quick always talked about in the past how he doesn't cry, but he actually cried and got emotional. This is a huge day for him. Now Sherelle thinks that this is the time to address Arena and Habab, okay? So she goes over to Arena and the crew, okay, because it's everybody. And she's like basically saying, she don't play about her husband. She don't like the things that's been said about the whole situation with Joy and, blah, blah, blah. And Arena's like, oh, so you talking to me? You talking to me? Okay. And she's like, well, yeah, I'm talking to you. Okay. And then in the confessional, Ashley is like, yeah, Raina and her Bob was over there bobbing back and forth, and Sherelle was going back and forth, and I just don't know why they chose this as the time to do this. So they're going back and forth about the word shady, okay? So Arena finds it in her heart and all her parts to go into her phone and find the definition of shady. Inconsistent, okay? What other word did she use? She used a couple of words that were like synonyms, if you will, of the word shady. So it all meant the same thing. And even Joy in her confessional say, yeah, pretty much the same thing. But I'm just like, y'all, was it that deep? I don't think it was. I don't think it was. And even Black even said, maybe this is a conversation that you and I need to have, Joy. Like, maybe there's some things that we can clear up. And I really appreciate him being grown up and adult about this. But even Ashley and Quick were like, listen, this is a big moment for me. Like, y'all are doing the most, okay? You take it somewhere else. Maybe to the west side of Baltimore, if you will. Because on the east side, we're celebrating. Okay, you guys are ruining my moment. Okay, so Arena and her Bob got the bobbing. She was about to, try to have Sherelle bobbing and weaving, because she like, don't let the skinniness fool you. Okay, and Sherelle like, listen, you better not act like a fool, because you gonna look like a fool even more than you are out here. Because don't play with me and my husband, because I ain't playing with y'all, and don't be calling my husband shady, because my husband is not shady. Okay. Child, and that's that on that. We're going to tune in next week, and hopefully they can move the hell on. Because it all boils down to Joy needs to let it go. This is really all Joy. Like, Joy is the one that has a problem with Black. And I feel like this, instead of Arena even being in the mix with this should have been a conversation between Joy, Sherelle, Black, and Clifton, okay? They need to all be together in the same room having a conversation. If Joy is this bent out of shape over it, she needs to have a conversation with this man and tell him how she feels about this band breaking up, because obviously this was such a huge piece of her life that she feels like she hasn't gotten any closure on, because she's still because you gotta still be thinking about it and having some emotions about it if you're that angry over it, if you're still mad about it. Like things that have happened in my past, if I'm over it and it doesn't affect my life currently, I'm not angry with these people. Now, am I about to be going and kicking the bobo and hanging out with a whole bunch of people that I may have had a tiff with in the past? No. But you're on a whole TV show with Black now. My, how the universe comes back full force, okay? Who would have ever thought that in a million years, this man that you have all this anger towards, you would now be on a TV show with him? It's amazing how God works. God is showing, I don't want to get spiritual on the ones that don't believe, but I'm telling you some real good stuff, Joy, if you ever watch my videos. God works in mysterious ways. God does not like people that do not forgive. He does not like when people do not forgive. He forgave us and all of our sins for his only begotten son. You can forgive that man over this mumbo sauce group, okay? And go get a 4 wings and fries with some mumbo sauce after y'all forgive each other. And move the heck on, sis. Let it go. Move on. Let it go. Let it burn like Usher, okay? You are doing your own thing. You live in a beautiful house off the water. You're doing your thing. You are living your best life, okay? You're getting ready to get married. You are singing in other places, doing things. Why is this still a crutch in your life? Move on. Move on, okay? But thank y'all for watching. Please, please, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody else that's watching this show too. Please, y'all, like the video, comment. I love everybody. I appreciate everybody that watches my videos. I'm trying to catch up on the videos, but I need you guys to put me in the algorithm so that I can continue to get more people coming and watching the content with me. I will go live for my next reviews, but I need to get back in the algorithm. So help a sister out, all right? Appreciate y'all. See y'all in the next video. Peace out.